Hello? Hello? Hmm.
She said enthusiastically.
I am enthusiastic. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Tired.
Can I confirm something with you before we really launch this meeting? You are not able to be the FAA person because they moved the meetings to daytime. Is that a confirmation? Because Jeff Camp now would like to be the number 2, but
Yeah, you can give it to him because
we all can, but I don't want to agendize that if you're still going to do it.
No, because I can't go to the meetings at all. I reviewed all the materials and I let John know that I didn't have any comments on it, but I can't be there at all. Okay. So, because the meetings are the same time that I have like a public meeting to run.
Exactly. So and Jeff had not wanted to do it before because he thought he was going to do it on behalf of a job he doesn't have at the county supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
So now he wants to do it. So
okay. Yeah, that works out perfectly.
Mika, can I rename you again?
Yes, ma'am, you may. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
So, Gabby.
Yeah, 1 second, just trying to find this meeting here.
Well, I guess since we have a couple of new, people that at least I don't know yet, I'll introduce myself really quickly and Gabby can do the same. My name is Raheem Dawson. I am the Arlington Heights representative, one of the Arlington Heights representatives on the UNNC board, and also the co-chair of the communications committee. I've been on the board for about 3 years now. And Gabby.
Yes, hi. I've been on the board for how long now? Since August, and on the communications committee for I think since September. And I'm an at-large rep up for election next year. Yeah, I don't think I've met Mika or Michael, but glad you can join us today.
Yeah.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
So we have 2 minutes for public comments, and we can, if you guys would like to, you can use public comment time if you want to introduce yourselves or maybe talk about why you're joining this meeting. That might be kind of helpful in shaping some of the discussions to come, if you want to. And anybody else, Greg, Lizzie, Laura, if you guys want to jump in also, please.
Yeah, hi. My name's Michael Dawes. I live in Jefferson Park, and I wanted to get involved with the neighborhood council. I've been attending meetings probably like 3-4 months in the past, and kind of just trying to see where I could kind of fit in and how I could kind of volunteer, and was just kind of in the shadows a bit. And then I think when you guys had a board meeting, kind of discuss chairs for the different committees and kind of talking about it, the communications committee was something that kind of sparked my interest. For my day job, I am a software engineer, web developer. And so anything kind of dealing with that, I thought that'd be kind of like a first step that I could try to get involved. And I've been meaning to come for the past 2 months, but something's always happened on the last Thursday. So I've finally been able to come, and I just wanted to introduce myself and kind of say hello, and then also to kind of give contact info in any way I could be involved. And that brought me here tonight.
Great.
Wow. So excited to have you, Michael. Welcome.
we were just talking about this, Raheem. We want someone to join our committee and help us do a lot of the work that we need to accomplish in the next few months. So we're glad that you can join us.
Perfect. Yeah, glad to be here.
Right, anyone else?
Well, I'll just introduce myself, but I mean, you guys know me, but maybe Michael does, and Mika probably at this point does, because she's attended, this is her 4th meeting this week. Along with me, I mean, she and I have been traveling together all these
Nice.
weeks. But my name is Laura Myers, and I live in Angeles Vista, and I have been on it. I'm one of the founders of the Neighborhood Council, but I haven't been on the board since inception. I've been on and off. What I have been is the land use chair for the entire time. And I'm, as you know, that El Presidente now, but not forever. I will say that. Anyway, and so I'm the Zoom host at this point of all the committee meetings. Hopefully also not forever.
Okay, I'll jump in. Nice meeting Michael and Mika. My name is Lizzie Moramisato. I'm one of the Jefferson Park reps. And I've been on the board since 2015, so 5 years now and counting. And what else? I'm also the chair of the Outreach Committee. So nice meeting you.
Hi, my name is Greg. I live in Western Heights, one of the reps from Western Heights, and I currently serve as the treasurer. I've also served as the secretary in the past. My visit today is, I have questions about the website, and I want to make sure that the committee has the money that they need to do the things that they need. So I've questions about the website, and I want people to have the resources that they need. I'm really, really interested in recruiting new people to work with us because we need help. And I know Raheem has been working with the Communications Committee for a long time, put a lot of effort and work into establishing a lot of things, and Gabby's stepping in with this. She's a ball of fire and energy. And my concern for everyone is just about not burning them out and working as a team. And it's a joy working with Lizzie, and Laura and I have very good brother and sisterly conversations in depth about what we need to do to move things forward. Not every day, but often. Right, Laura? Yes, okay. All right, thank you, that's it. So I'll speak up when we get to the website part. Mostly the website part.
Thanks. All right. That moves us forward to item 3. We're 3 minutes ahead now. Communications Committee Goals and Mission Statement. So Raheem, I believe we finalized this with Lizzie last month, and so we can keep it on here, approve it for recommendation to the governing board. So I know, Greg, this is something you've been wanting to do, but I wanted to share really quick what, let's see here, what we came up with. And do you see my screen?
Yep.
Yep.
So this is our mission, and we have some goals here too. And I'll read the mission. Our mission is to keep stakeholders informed, to promote participation, and increase the visibility of UNNC and its resources through various communications channels. Our goals are to increase the number of residents and other stakeholders that participate in meetings and other outreach events. That could probably be worded a little better, but increase the exposure of the UNNC throughout its jurisdiction and engage board members in UNNC communications efforts. So that's what we would like to adopt as our mission and goals. Any thoughts, discussion are welcome.
One thing, and I'm sorry I didn't say this last time, the word jurisdiction, maybe we should change that just to footprint, so it sounds like a little less like authoritarian.
Okay, to increase the exposure of the UNNC throughout its footprint.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, no, that's good because we use footprint now instead of boundaries because we probably have stakeholders who may worship here or attend school here but live a little outside the physical boundaries. So we use
Okay.
footprint as kind of our new generic.
Cool.
Otherwise,
Anything else? So do we take a vote on this, Laura, or just forward it to the board?
I thought you had taken a vote on it except for the word footprint a month ago, but yeah, I think you do need to take a vote on it. And then that, when we're going to deal with this now, it keeps getting put off till in January, not December. The mission statements in January. But,
oh, I see. No, you're right. I think we did vote on to approve this. So then all we need to do is forward this to you for inclusion in the January meeting.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'll go ahead and do that.
All right.
Okay. So that's that. Then that takes, sorry, go ahead.
Just a quick thing, just for Michael and Mika, just note, Michael, I know that you've attended some meetings, and Mika sounds like you have too, and I guess all the meetings operate a little bit differently, and like there's certain things that we have to do to stay within like certain protocols, but like I think Gabby and I both want to kind of keep this meeting a little bit lighter than some of the heavy protocols we have to follow. So all that to say that if there's anything you guys want to comment on or speak up on, feel free. We more than welcome your opinions and input on all this stuff. So just putting that out there.
And just jump in.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so up next is the graphic design and photography services, a discussion of the solicitation process. So Raheem, if you have any thoughts, I've never gone through a solicitation process with UNNC, so I'll take your lead on this one.
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't really either, just because like the website thing was a little bit weird, where we had to like operate within the parameters that were set forth by the city. That and we ended up being able to operate outside of those, but it was still anyway. But I do think that with this, like in order to be transparent and fair and clear, we should kind of put this out on Facebook. Probably put some money behind a boost for it. Put it on Nextdoor. I actually have a thread saved on Nextdoor. Like a photographer started a thread, like talking to other photographers, and so I can post it in that thread, and we can like make another post. But we just need to like. I was gonna do it last night, and I got sleepy, so I didn't do it. But if I'm being honest, but like we need some sort of image or something like, hey, we need to do this, email, what I mean? We need something to.
That's tough because that's what we're asking for a photographer.
Right? And a graphic designer. Can you do this better than this?
Here, I can't blue hand raise. We do have that semi-photoshopped photograph of the Zoom meeting, remember? Mm-hmm. We never used it, but that could be a photo saying we need a photographer. But remember that I also need, whatever you're posting on social media, I need to email on MailChimp too. It's like an RFP, request for proposal kind of thing. So if we're going to be totally transparent and open, we post outward, but we also, the 1,300 or so people who receive our emails need to get that email as well. Yeah. It just because it may not be overlapping. And they're the people who signed up to hear from us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lizzie?
I have a question. I think I brought it up at the UNNC meeting, the last one. How about the occasional video needs that we have? How do those requests fit into these
well, I think that
solicitations?
I think that what we might be able to do, I mean, because I think our primary focus for the photographer is going to be photographs, but there's a lot of photographers who also take video. And so like, as we are kind of hopefully culling through a bunch of people who are interested, we can kind of find out who can do what. And like maybe somebody who's offering photography and video services is a better candidate than somebody who's just offering photo, you know? So I think it's something that we can kind of address as we candidates, right? Yeah, but I'll mark that as a note just so that it's something that we keep in mind as we kind of look at candidates.
Right. You know, there's two kinds of video services. One would be someone to go out and do a video for us, right? But I think we also need some video editing servicing. I mean, this is not what we already voted to fund. But for example, after the fact, I thought of this, but John Arnold and I last night, God, these meetings are rolling together, but we did a teaching session at Planning and Zoning on how you can access the brand new, some of the planning department has on their website, they've added a component where anybody can find out what cases were just filed and follow and look at the plans and everything. But that's within the Zoom meeting video that's recorded. It would be great if we had someone who had the skills to edit just that piece, just the training piece, and make it our own version of a webinar on our website, right? Not throw the whole meeting because there's other stuff, but just the teaching component. And we've done stuff like that before. We might have a speaker. So that's really separate than somebody taking a video. But so we may need to be throwing a little more money at this. That's why one reason Greg is here, right? But I don't know that has anything to do with the money that was voted for photography and for graphic arts. I think video might be
probably not
one more thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may want to figure out what our needs are first, and how much of it we need, you know.
Right, and this one thing, I was already thinking of if I could find somebody I know to see if they can clip the video piece. So, but I'm just saying, for example.
And that's something that, Laura, that I can do. Like I do, but I don't want to sign up to be like doing all sorts of things. But like that's something that I can pretty easily do. So.
Oh, you should not have said those words out loud on a recording.
Gotta step away for 1 second, guys.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like our plan then is to prepare some language for you to send out, Laura, right? On the e-blast, and then start a social media campaign where we'll I guess, do we need an approval for the image, Laura? Do I send that to you for approval, or can I just start posting it? Because
no, I don't think that's right. Two of us, you and me. That's right. Didn't we establish? Right? Yeah, you and me. We established that.
So I'll do that. I'll prepare some social media posts for us to take a look at and approve.
Right.
To get out. I'll do that tonight, actually, since I have some free time.
Okay.
For the first time in weeks.
Right. But also you and Raheem need to like figure out the words that go with the MailChimp, because
I'll do a first draft for him to review.
Okay, cool.
I'll do that because he's been a little swamped lately, and so
You mean a young father with 2 kids under age 5 is swamped?
I know, right?
I mean, I just can't believe it.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling me. Thank you for calling me young. I appreciate that.
You are
young.
You're a baby.
I guess it's a relative term.
Well, it is relative, and I've noticed with this pandemic how many more gray hairs are now actually visible.
Me too.
Yeah, I just decided to. Yeah.
Okay, so Raheem, you heard. I'll do a first draft of the e-blast and send it to you for approval, and then we can send it to Laura to email out.
Cool.
Okay. Any other discussion, Mika or Michael? If you want to add anything.
Well, are you guys just doing the photography first and then graphic artist second, or how are you doing? Because those 2 different people, 2 different functions. Are you going to hold off on the graphic?
No, right? I don't think so.
I think we'll do them at the same time. We'll
Okay,
just-
that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll prep that
Okay.
for both. Yeah. Okay. So hearing nothing else, I'll move to the next item, which is the board member news stories update. Which the update is that there is no update. We have not been good at.
Dorit just wrote you one.
Well, that's true. Dorit just wrote one today. That I will post on Facebook. I scheduled it for tomorrow morning. But we have not been great at following the other schedule that we sent out. So hopefully we can get back into that schedule soon.
In fairness, we haven't been great, but board members have also not been great at, holding up their end of the bargain. So.
I have not been great either. Greg has his hand up.
I'm not sure if I'm not on mute. If you send me the list again, I could, because I lost the one you sent me. So if you send it to me again, then I will put it on my calendar and I could join in sending reminders out for that. So I could help with that part, the reminders, because I forgot. And then I'm like,
everybody forget.
And I knew I forgot. I confessed that I forgot. But
yeah, no, Greg has become the guy to remind people about training. But Greg, this obligation has to be a much nicer nudge, because it's probably true that some board members, he's nice, but I mean even nicer, because I fear that some of the board members haven't done it because they're really uncomfortable doing it.
Yeah, I understand that. And then when they say they're uncomfortable, then I like, hey,
I mean, it is completely voluntary. So if they don't feel comfortable writing a story and let us know, we'll just move on to the next person.
Yeah, and so and Greg, we can like talk about it a little bit more offline, but I don't think it's not you reaching out and saying to somebody like, hey, do this. It's like, hey,
of course. Exactly.
No, but it's even like, it's just like, hey, get in touch with Gabby and Raheem so you can talk about your assignment.
Sweet.
Because like when we talk to them, it may not even be like you writing a story. It might be like you taking a picture or you doing something else that it might lean more into your strengths, So
I can do that.
Yeah, so we can we kind of work with the board.
See the brother and the sister. See the brother and the sister that they help you out.
Because noting there's one other way we can handle some of this, which is the team can interview a board member and ask them what they're doing to contribute to the common good during this period of time. I mean, in other words, there's many different approaches to it. Yeah.
So, Gabby, I think maybe what we should do is look at that schedule and revamp it. Like basically, it's like starting, after the Thanksgiving break or something, where, so that.
Right, and actually, I was kind of impressed that Gavin wrote his and then resigned, but he actually fulfilled the. No, I mean, I was really impressed that he wrote something. And then I think in reading what he wrote himself, he realized he could no longer fulfill the mission.
Laura, I had the same thought.
But he did do it. No, I mean, I respected that. I totally did.
I mean, it was really funny that he wrote about being involved and then he resigned.
Oh no, this is not me.
He read it back and was like, wait a minute. No.
Okay, and everyone else doesn't know what we're talking about, but in any way, I do think every person has a story to tell. That's, I've kind of learned that in life. So some of our board members, we, just what do you got? What do you do? Who are you? I mean, we could do some of that, even though that makes it harder on you guys because you have to do the typing.
Yeah. All right. So any other discussion on board member news stories? So our action is.
Gabby, I have a question. How do you decide which ones as we get more successful at this, which of the items go on the website versus which are pushed on Facebook or other social media?
I don't think we have a set process for that, right?
Yeah, they've all been going on the website and then shared to Facebook from the website.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. So, Greg, I'm going to send you the schedule once again.
Thank you so much.
But Gabby, should we look at it and like?
Oh, revise the calendar before you send it to
Yeah,
Greg.
I'll have to update the
date.
dates again.
Did you send me a Word doc of it? Because if so, I can probably do it pretty fast.
Yeah, it's actually in our shared communications committee drive.
Okay.
As is the meeting notes that I take for every meeting. So if you want to add anything there, please do.
You're like, hint, hint.
No. No, you know, because like, you know, we're all taking notes.
Yeah.
Things are going to end up all over. So.
Yeah, very true, very true.
Okay. So there's, so that's it for item 5. The next item is our popular item, which is the website updates and development of new content for our website. So I'm going to preface this by saying that we have not been great at following up with Anne about these website updates. But actually this week I did, without knowing that Greg or Tori would be interested in updates, I did follow up with Anne, and hopefully we can hear back from her soon. But this is going to be something that I want to work on in the next couple of weeks. So we have a list of website fixes, I guess we can call them. And some of those are fixing the committee page, which doesn't have a current list of active committees. So it's kind of a little bit of a hot mess. Right now, it lists committees that aren't really meeting anymore. So we need to fix that list. And I think the first thing that we'll need, Laura, at least I mean,
yeah,
for you probably, is a list of those active committees.
Right.
So that we can fix that on the web page.
Well, here's my real, I'm not muted. Here's my real question. How hard is it to do the fix? Because if it's really hard to fix it, why are we listing active committees here when their activeness may change, if I'm saying that right? I mean, in other words, do we list the CIS committee, and then when it cancels, it's not fair that I'm bringing up a particular committee. So let me back up. Do we list public safety, which has yet to have its first Zoom meeting or any meeting at all this year, but it is on the standing thing? Or do we not list it and then we solve the problem and now you have to go and revise the list again? So, I mean, how hard is it to keep revising?
I think that once it's updated and set up, it won't be as hard to update it.
Because you're not just typing a list and posting it. Because I already know that the way the website is working or not working, the calendar is where our committee meetings are posted, and they're not always posted apparently, but although I'm looking at it now, they are posted right now, kind of auto play, but not all of the committees.
So Raheem, what I have here is that we planned on doing a page for each of the committees, but if what you're saying, Laura, is that some of them actually kind of stop meeting whenever, you know, the chairs probably term out or leave or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, some of them
won't make sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you go to the website and click on committees, the first total weirdness is planning and zoning is its own tab underneath, and then there's other committees. It's like, why? Who set that up?
Well,
and it's not Anne who set that up, and it's not Raheem who set that up. Wendy set that up.
It was Wendy, and the idea was that every committee would eventually have its own little tab there, and that just never got built out. for a lot of different reasons.
And when I send out, or Jeff or whoever sends out the MailChimp e-blast, it's not 100% me, they also have a click through. I put in where to click, you know, for the agenda, but apparently there's other places you can click, and does it take us to the right place on our agenda, on our website? I don't know the answer. I'm actually gonna, while we're talking, test that. But there seemingly is 2 or 3 different places where a random member of the public looking at our website might try to find the agendas, and don't necessarily show up in all those places. And I don't even understand why we have more than one place to find the agenda.
And Gabby, didn't we talk, isn't that one of the things we talked about with Ann last time? Like that exact fact that like there should only be one place where agendas are.
Right. And she inherited all of this. I mean, it's not like this is something she and Doug and the team have done. This is the messiness of our website.
Yeah.
And they're having trouble even with when some of the committees, like the Homelessness Liaison Committee met tonight, because they weren't going to meet on Thanksgiving night, right? They have trouble just moving a committee to another night. Or they had trouble with the outreach committee because it's every other month.
And so sorry, go ahead, Greg.
Why do they have trouble with that?
Because of the software setup done by the previous person who created the website. It's just an internal to the website functionality.
The calendar widget, the WordPress widget that is used for the calendar is just very, and I don't know, Michael's a software engineer, but I guess I'll use the word like
clunky.
Don't use the wrong word.
I know Michael's listening with his ear up to his speaker right now. It's just very like intense, like the one small change, like because it builds out the calendar events like as a series, and you have to break an event out of a series, and then that changes everything. And this goes back to a question that I asked Ann, or started to ask Ann probably a month ago now, about the calendar itself. Like, should we use a different widget? And I'm thinking now, like, should we even just move to like Google Calendar? Should each committee have its own like Google Calendar? You know what I mean? Just so it's like we're just more nimble, you know, like, and individuals like committee chairs have the ability to then like update a calendar. Like you can pop your agenda item or your Zoom link into your calendar.
We can't do that. We can't do that. That violates the virtual governance crap from Doug.
How so?
Well, first of all, the individual chairs don't have that information because the Zoom host has the information. But Don approves the agendas before they get posted. You may not realize that.
That's fine. I don't understand what violates.
Well, it doesn't violate, but we're running out of time by then. I mean, we may have 5 minutes to go to get the darn thing posted because Don has taken so long. And sometimes we're not even waiting for Don because we're running out of time for Brown Act. And I just send it straight to Doug, and he's standing by to do it. And I understand.
So what I'm saying is like, I'm just saying like, exactly like this idea of like you sending something to somebody to do something, like,
right?
Why don't we remove that step? If time is of the essence, and why are we taking an extra step to do something that's timely?
Because the chairs themselves, I would have to send the approval to the chairs. I have to send it to somebody. We have to wait for Don.
Okay, but then you just said that we don't always wait for Don. All I'm saying, and like, and I'm not saying that Google is the answer, but I'm just saying like, instead of having this system that is like super delicate and can be challenging, that only our web developers can like change a calendar invite. Why don't we do something that's a little bit more robust and accessible to people, committee chairs?
I think you and I are talking about two different things. Making it more accessible to us, and I see that Greg has his hand up too, is one thing. Whether it's easy and accessible and robust where the actual people we paid can have an easier time, or if a volunteer can have an easier time, there's two different issues. So one is the administration of who can post, but one is how to make it easy. So I think let's focus on how to make it easy, and then we can have the bureaucratic administrative conversation about who's allowed to post it. Am I saying that right?
But it might also be the same conversation where you're just making it easier for anybody involved, which is my
Go
silver
ahead.
bullet. Anyway.
Greg.
Okay, so the questions that I have, we don't have enough time to answer all the questions I have about, because I want to like go through each of the web pages. But my overall question is, does Ann and the communication committee need a new software, new platform, new money to make it, so to use the words that have just been used, to make it easier to do what needs to be done? Because it sounds like Ann is having a hard time updating. Raheem is saying that, suggesting that the committee chairs be able to update. Not that we can do that. That's not the point I want to debate right now. But it seems cumbersome to use what we have. Right. And if there's an easier way or a different tool or a different platform, then I want to support that.
Right.
That's my concern.
Right.
Because, we should say, and do this, and she did go, and it's done. Or Raheem, do this, or Raheem, what's the update on this? And it's just should be easy. It's not. This is not the way web page is supposed to be. So
yes,
whatever easy, we should be able to do. Raheem knows how to do this stuff, but he needs the right tools to do it. Well, you're smart. You're smart. He knows how to do it. So what tools do you need? And I would encourage us to not try to work with something that's cumbersome. If Ann needs something new, and if Raheem and Gabby want something new, well, that's you can have it. In my opinion, I mean, it's not my money. It's not my money, but so you can have that.
I want to share real quick.
That's my spiel for the night.
I'm going to share real quick what my website for my job looks like. So I have here.
Is it easy?
It's WordPress, so no, it's not easy. But I got our website developer to create our website with the list of our committees, right? And it's only a list. And then if they want to access the agendas and minutes for each committee, what we do then is link that page to our agendas and minutes webpage. So that way, there's only one place where those agendas and minutes live, and every other place leads to this webpage. And so if we ever want our members of the public to find our agendas, we have a short handle URL that's cleanpoweralliance.org/agendas. And that is the only place where they will find the agendas and minutes for all of the bodies.
What we have now is just, it messes my mind up. So
that's what I think we can do. And that will allow us to update the list of committees. And if one goes out and doesn't meet anymore, then we can update that very quickly because it's just a list and not a link.
Yeah.
So we can explore that option too. But that doesn't get rid of this other conversation, Raheem, with the calendar, which I think we should explore, and then determine whether or not we can, we can do it, I guess. I don't know if that's good, but go ahead, Laura.
Well, the other thing is this emerging done social media policy, if it actually is adopted, would not allow individual committee chairs to do postings.
That's fine. I mean, it doesn't have to be committee chairs.
No, I'm just saying, well, it may never get adopted. There's so much pushback on it. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, and we're not even talking about doing we're talking about like editing,
uploading the agenda. I understand.
No, we're specifically we're talking about editing a calendar invite that already exists, So like, I don't know how hairy the done policy is. I don't know how in the weeds it gets, but like, anyway, what I do want to say is I think, Greg, you bring up a really, really good point. And I think, like, I know myself, sometimes I get so deep into a process, I forget that that process can be completely blown up and started over again. And it's a really good, fresh reminder.
Right.
So I think the question kind of backs up to the whether or not the board wants to spend money on another website revamp. Like I think it was probably only a year and a half or 2 years ago where we paid Wendy a bunch of money to make the most recent update to get us to where we are. I think it is a little bit unfair to have Anne kind of working in something that she didn't design. Like, and I think that's a lot of the problem. It's like if you bring in an electrician to do some work at your house and somebody else wired your house, that electrician's gonna have to spend time figuring out like where all the wires are, why something's wired weirdly, and like, oh, it's because, and that's what Anne has to spend a lot of her time doing, I'm sure. So yeah, I think, I mean, maybe the easiest way forward is to spend some more money and have Anne redesign our website in a way, and make sure she designs it in a way that like any future web designer can have easy ways in to fix stuff. Because I mean, it's really crazy. The things that Anne tells us are like connected. She's like, well, if you edit this here, then that's connected to this over here, and that's going to change.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really,
like a domino.
yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, maybe that's the next conversation we should have with Anne, Gabby, is maybe like, okay, if we were to redesign our website, how much is it going to be? What ideas do you have?
How much time can we see? Can we see it in the sandbox first?
Yeah, but I think
how long would it take you?
Yeah.
I mean, even looking at a new host, because WordPress in general is also just like really hard to use. And even at my job, I have a terrible time getting our website developer to do things because it's the exact same problem. Our calendar is a hot mess because it's linked to an event. And it's just like not, it's very difficult to update. Yeah. So if you're, Greg, you're saying
okay,
that.
Now,
there you go, Mike. I was waiting for you, brother.
I didn't know.
Hey, no, my man.
Throwing all kind of bait in, waiting to catch.
I know. Come on, man.
Well, this is definitely like what I do, and it kind of seems like solutions that you guys would need for this, because definitely it's not so much like the tool you would need, but kind of the goals that you're trying to do with the website. And I think going from that perspective, I can definitely help, because I don't, I was just, but yeah, so that's definitely like, especially with the calendar.
Were you on our website, Michael?
Well, yeah, and that's kind of why I kind of wanted to get involved too, because it's like with a lot of this stuff, because it's so much, it's definitely very basic as to what the needs are of the council and the committee's website, and especially with like it seems just with the calendar, with the email, as well as updating it, there shouldn't really be just one person kind of logging in and updating some text, and then it will update everything else. And then kind of, I'm just hardcore against WordPress, but it's definitely like, especially with whatever your guys' budget is, there's a lot of things that could fit within it to like, you know, get everything within whatever your budget needs are, especially with whatever you need the website to do. I didn't know how to interrupt or talk like that too, but it's definitely kind of like it's just having a meeting with someone, figuring out what your needs are, and then going from there to whatever tools that we could build or have done already. Because seeing how the website is now, like, it was pretty straightforward for me to get information about what I needed. There are some stuff that was outdated that I figured out just because of attending committee meetings, but I didn't know if this was the place to kind of have that discussion. But I could definitely have talks with people offline or here now about, you know, just kind of discussing what the needs are of the website, who needs to access it, who can access it. But a lot of the stuff that you guys are discussing is definitely things that there could be a one-stop place where it connects to MailChimp, and having it be in one place rather than having someone update it here, update it there, post to there, post to this, send out the MailChimp. It should just be you update it one place and then it will put it out to everywhere, update the calendar, send the emails, post to Facebook, post to Nextdoor. Like, it shouldn't, you guys should not be needing to have 5 different places. But yeah, that's something that I'm here, or that's kind of why I would like to volunteer my services.
So I just requested your email, Michael.
I was gonna say,
But
get
just
this
to
guy.
respond,
Email.
just to respond real quick
See
from,
my phone
I
number,
think,
Michael,
I
to
replied to
them.
Laura.
phone
but
number,
just
your
really
webpage.
quickly, Michael, wanted to sort of respond a little bit to what you were saying about what our goal is. And our goal, at least for myself, and I think Raheem too, we're on the same page, and I think that's why we've done some good initial work, to get the ball rolling, is to engage our residents and our stakeholders, and to make sure that we're a resource to them, and that our website informs them, and that every time they come to our website, they learn something about what's happening in the neighborhood, and the things that they need to know and should know. And just like, because I work in government too, so for me, transparency is really important, and making sure that, that I work with Laura to make sure that we're, accountable to the people that we serve. So I think that that's like the first step for us to identify exactly what we want to do. But that would be my goal for the website. And we can talk a little bit more offline with you about what this entail, but I guess we would have to agendize it again to talk a little bit further in detail about it. Go ahead, Laura.
Okay, so a couple of things. One is if we choose to revamp our website, then we need to also look at some of the other really great neighborhood council websites, because there's some that are really, really, really good. So that's a content thing, but somebody who knows what they're looking at would also tell us if doing something more like this or more like that means this software versus that software. So I mean, in other words, there needs to be some evaluation, because there's some really great other neighborhood council websites that are different than ours. At least several of them, for example, post all the land use cases coming up with the plans and everything, so everyone in the community who looks at our website can see a proposed development, for example. Also on the MailChimp, our e-blast, it would be great. I mean, we've been talking about how getting the word out about agendas or word out about a news story, but as we descend into another COVID winter, unfortunately, we were also using MailChimp essentially as a newsletter, right? Not doing a newsletter, just writing up, and I had guest writers. I mean, last March through May, we were doing once or twice a week, just newsletters out to keep in contact and provide resources. And I feel like we're heading in that direction again. The more people are staying home, the more they need more information. And I wouldn't necessarily want all of that linked all of the time to the website personally, because I think that, I mean, I would occasionally send out one of these would be all diversions, just fun stuff to do online, right? And that's fine for an e-blast, but maybe not fine for our website. So we have to keep in mind all that flexibility. And then I had mentioned at the last communications meeting that another website I'm involved with, another local organization, every time I post or anyone posts something on our Facebook page, it automatically shows up on the website. So it's the other way around. Not that what we do on the website shows up on Facebook, but if I or Lisa or Kim, I mean, people you don't know, if we post an event that's happening in our community on the Facebook page, and you then go to our website, you'll see that same post right there front and center. So that's a cool connectivity. I don't know.
So Laura, I'm hearing a lot of cool things that I think we need to take offline and sort of figure out what we want for the website.
So what we could do, now I'm being the bureaucrat, you, Gabby, Raheem, and Michael, and anybody else who's not on the board can meet as often as you want to yak with Ann and Doug. If you wanted to have something that's a little more official, a focused website working group, we could appoint an ad hoc committee so it actually has members, but I was going to say, but you're not Brown Act required. You just couldn't, okay, no. So I'm just saying there's different ways to approach it. The only thing you cannot do is have a bunch of us board members offline in a meeting. You max out at Raheem and
I'm not going. I said my.
No, but I couldn't go
give my-
either. I'm saying max is 2 board
Yes.
members. So that would be Gabby and Raheem. So in
will.
private meetings.
I'll
So
bring the
if
bag of
we
money.
have ideas and
bring the
Laura
bag of
has
money.
ideas, then we need we could have a special meeting, but it's it has to be Brown Act compliant. So that's the bureaucrat just giving you some instruction. So I would say the 3 of you go off and have your private conversation. But
Happy talks about our website.
right.
Okay, so let's do that.
But if you want to have more people at it, it doesn't have to be the communications
anymore.
committee. It could just be
They don't want any more.
a special meeting. You don't have to go, Greg.
No, they don't want any more. They're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
We.
All right.
They are
But yeah,
empowered.
you probably know
I'm
more
so
of the
glad you
bureaucratic
came,
stuff
Michael.
than me.
Thank you,
Okay,
Michael.
I'm
Thank you
walking
so much.
away for a minute.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute all of us. Oh, never mind.
You
Okay.
muted us for what?
No, never mind.
Okay.
Okay. So item 7, review of social media postings and upcoming schedule. So I've been posting on Facebook. I have not been great. I'm not a really good millennial, so I haven't been posting on Instagram. I don't know if Raheem, you have, but our engagement on Facebook hasn't, I tried to boost Raheem and it got denied.
Saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
I should have. I saw that and I meant to tell you. There's so on certain posts. Facebook pretty much has determined that anything that we post is a political post, and so you have to have like special authorization. They have to basically like verify who you are to make sure you're not like a Russian hacker. And so like I had to go through this whole thing where I forget even how they verified who I was. I think they like mailed me a code and I had to like put this code in somewhere. So I think you might have to do that same thing so that you can boost things. It doesn't matter for posting, but like anytime you boost a post, like pay money to that extra level of verification is required. Yeah.
Michael is nodding like he knows what you're talking about.
Like thankfully I'm not just like lying right now, right? He's totally just like he's keeping me
Michael,
honest.
how do we officially like invite you to be part of this committee?
Oh no, I'm here now. Like this is definitely the committee I wanted to participate.
That's awesome. It's so funny. It's like an answered prayer.
We were literally texting about this like an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, exactly this. Like we were like, I hope that somebody just comes and shows up and wants to do the work with us.
and the good thing is too, it's just like your guys's problems that you're trying to solve isn't like anything new or like very difficult to solve as well. So which is like a good thing too.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Cool. So yeah, we've maintained some engagement. Less than 20 people reached for all of our posts really, but hopefully with the I'll try and verify Raheem and that way I can also boost, because at this point it's just you then that can boost posts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Have to keep trying to get on Instagram. But other than that.
And also, Gabby, I think we need to keep it being a single person boosting because they're using it's not but my UNNC credit card.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I think a person has to track the budget and all that stuff as well. Because the credit card itself doesn't have our budget. I mean, you can get up to $5,000 a month on the credit card, but you shouldn't because we wouldn't have approved that.
Well, what's cool is we on our on our social media schedule, we have a column for budget. So like any posts that we do spend money on, we're supposed to be, well, ideally we're tracking it in there too. So
Right,
Yeah.
I'm saying, and Raheem's doing it, so that I'm not at the moment down on having more than one person with the ability to in effect use the credit card.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
Okay,
comfortable with
that's
Raheem using the credit.
Fine. I'll just ping you, Raheem, when I need you to. I'll prep the post, and then
Okay.
you can post it and then boost the.
yeah, or you can
Oh,
post
yeah.
it and then I can boost it. Yeah.
If you don't
Can
mind.
I do that? I'll post and then you boost.
You can
Yeah.
boost an existing post. Yep.
Oh, okay, great. So let's do that because I've
Unless,
been.
unless Michael shakes his head no, then yes, you can do that.
Yeah, Michael, can we can do okay.
Yeah, no, that is how you have to post it first. First you
Okay.
post it. And by the way, sometimes Facebook will look at the post and immediately say not boostable. I mean, I don't know if you've come across that, but I just had one. I mean, I've posted several, not on UNNC, on the other website where I'm the admin. I mean, Facebook, and I'm getting they've just changed all the rules again, and they're defining things as political that
Yeah,
we
that's what we
would
were just
never
talking about.
think of as being political. I mean, I
Yeah.
had
We just talked about this.
when I walked away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry. But I would say my example is this effort to rename Figueroa for Kobe Bryant, and there's some stuff going on in public and city council public hearings. So I had put that on our Facebook, thinking that's something people be really interested in, and I put a bunch of historic photos of Figueroa, all good. And then they said, do you want to boost it? And I said, oh yeah, sure. And I do it, and all of a sudden I get this email, rejected, it's political. And it's like, what?
Okay.
So
All right, well, that's good to know. And we'll keep trying to keep up with our social media postings.
Yeah.
Haven't been great at that.
We had a really good week, and after that it was just
it was downhill from there. But no, Raheem, this week I got every single committee meeting on Facebook,
okay. So we've had 2 good weeks. Awesome.
So don't worry, I got us. And Michael, this would probably be something you can help with too. But okay, so next, I'm sorry, Michael, did you have something?
Well, no, I was going to say too, if you could also schedule a post as well, but that's something we could talk about as well.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. Okay, so communications and marketing ideas is the next item on the agenda. And we were hoping to finalize the virtual events that we had planned, Raheem. One of those being the variety show on Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
So I am aware that you only received one response, I believe. And just so you know, I let our executive committee members know that you were sour about it because
Let them all
they
know.
should have all responded to your email. I'm just kidding.
And I'm sorry, I did not respond, but I am willing to volunteer in, whichever capacity.
And it's fine because I think at this point, since we got 2 responses, so it was Paula and
okay.
but since so many people did not respond, I feel like we're empowered now to just make assignments now. So Greg is going to do a song, Laura's going to dance, Liz is going to recite a poem. So it's fine. It'll work out.
Okay. But I will say we talked about a couple of other ideas at executive, just because we're jumping into the holiday season. And I proposed a really embarrassing idea, and they promised me it not only wasn't embarrassing, but everyone would do it, but I don't believe y'all. But which would be for the December governing board meeting, December 3rd, that we make it for board members and anybody else. The what did I call it? The
Ugly sweater.
Ugly sweater.
Holiday sweater.
Asking everybody to do that, and then I would go online. I'm gonna get some generic ugly sweaters and make a photo collage and put that in a MailChimp e-blast. But I need everybody to promise they'll do it, because if I just show up in something so awful and no one else does, I'll be very upset.
Okay, but please remind us.
I will. That's the thing. I'm making a little photo collage first.
Yeah.
And then
I'm so ready. I mean, my My first prize at Culver City was due to a sweater that had a mirror on it and it said ugly, and every time somebody looked at it, it was like an
I love
ugly
it.
sweater.
So you can take that sweater and just put some
That's
Christmas
beautiful.
decorations, holiday decorations around the mirror, and then you're
That's
in.
beautiful. I love it.
You're just
Love it.
in. And the other
We're
idea
looking
that,
forward to it, Laura.
yeah, and then the other idea that Greg brought forward, that was brought forward actually by Donna Jones at the Avenues meeting, is some sort of community cookbook, soliciting recipes. Gabby said the only thing she knows how to do is pancakes. And we said, we'd eat them, you know, the recipe.
Thank you.
So anyway, so there's some other ideas also percolating.
So for I mean, it's already the 19th, but
Yeah.
for December we want to do the virtual variety show. Raheem, is that what you want to do, or is
I'd
it too
love
late?
to. Do I have any confidence that I could pull it together in a
Right.
month?
Right.
I will help you. You won't be by yourself.
Yeah.
We can do it. And now we have
I'll help
Michael.
Sure.
We
Yeah,
can
but I
do
mean,
it.
here's-
Find the
Hold on,
talent.
guys. Wait.
Finding the talent.
It's finding the talent
It's
that's hard,
crucial.
crucial. And are we doing adults, or are we doing kids? Or are we doing
Both.
both?
It should be
Both.
family. I mean,
Yeah.
Family.
Raheem, walk us through what your
vision.
vision is.
Yeah. So, I mean, my vision is really over the top and more complex than it could ever be. But like being virtual, being that we're all virtual and separate, like I like the idea of like seeing people in these like separate spaces. So like it's literally just like think of, you know, like a variety show, but like we're doing it virtually. So like we have somebody who's doing like a music performance like from their home garage, and then like we have somebody doing like a cookie recipe from their home kitchen, and then we have, you know, maybe somebody at the Underground Museum like doing some sort of like holiday poem or something in front, you know, like, but it's like it's being able to like to, again, I think like coming back to this idea of us being like the United Neighborhoods Neighborhood Council. We're not just like one neighborhood, we're all these different neighborhoods, all these different things happening. So it's kind of like seeing lots of different people doing different things in these different places that make our community what it is. And like, yeah, so the variety could be a variety of things. It could be song, dance, poem, cooking, eggnog recipe, holiday story, some sort of like historical holiday, you know, fact, but like all in different places, different people, which makes it very complicated.
Right. And all of it live, or some of it pre-recorded, right?
All of it live.
Has to be live. Okay. Well,
All
live
of
is
it
good. Live is good.
I'm thinking like, I'm also thinking like, well, what would somebody actually like tune into? And it's like,
Well,
I remember as a kid, like the allure of like public access. It's like these weird, somewhat weird people doing like trying to pull something off, and like it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch like the high wire act of like a live anything, especially when it's people who like don't do this, right? It's just like your neighbor singing a song in his garage or her garage. It's like it's kind of a cool thing to watch, and I feel like it might be something that could like garner some attention and traction.
Okay, so if I wanted to ask this person to sing, I think I would need to have a date,
Yeah.
because this person is probably already booked for many things, who knows, but
Okay. Well, the cool thing about this is like it will literally take like you're gonna sing like a 4-minute song. It'll take 20 minutes, right? Like it'll like a little bit of setup,
right,
a little bit of pre-production, and then you're on, and then it's over.
yes.
So I mean, here's what I'm willing to do. I think that we can set a date right now, just like so we have like something anchored in, and if we can make it work, great. If not, you know.
We'll try for later.
yeah, but I also have a question. Is this going to be serious talent, or is it going to be more like the Pasadena Doodah Parade? If you know what
It could be anything.
Well,
It could be.
No, but what's the goal? Not
The
what is the
goal
result,
is to
because
have-
knowing we may not be able to control the result, but what's the goal?
Yeah, and I think like we have to be loose with that goal. I think it's like we want people to just like have fun. If that means like you can't sing but you still want to sing, fine. Like I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna be like I'm not Simon Cowell. I'm not gonna tell you you're terrible. You can't sing.
You suck.
Right.
Yeah.
But here, why I'm asking that is I had just gotten an email the other day that the Doodah Parade's actually happening online this year. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say the Pasadena Doodah Parade?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it's going to be on November 22nd online. So that's just around the corner. I don't know how one sees it. I'm actually Googling it now. But
And
you know,
I'm thinking the 22nd.
but it might be something for us to all watch. That's all I'm saying. So we can see if that's more like what we want to do.
Yeah.
Well-
Yeah. Thank you. That's a good
And
Do we
idea.
want to do the 19th of December or like a Saturday, or do we want to do during the week, like the 17th? That would give us 4
weekend
weeks.
might be better, right? A weekend might be better, just
Yeah.
schedule wise. A Saturday or a Sunday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You said the 19th.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
19th
it's
is the week before before Christmas Eve and Christmas.
Yeah. Okay. December
All
19th.
right.
So, yeah. So I mean, you know,
Evening or prime time?
December 19th is a Saturday. So what time will we do on a Saturday? Would we make it like a prime time 8 p.m. thing, or is that ambitious?
That's a little late. The new prime time might be 6:30, if you know what I mean.
True. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay, so 6:30.
6:30 p.m. All right. We've written it down. It's officially happening now.
It's happening. I'm excited.
So just so I was half joking about the whole like assigning thing, but I think what I'd like to do is maybe assign like small committees of people to find certain things, like all the West Adams Avenue's reps. You guys get together and find somebody who can do a cookie recipe. You know what I mean? Just so like there's so people aren't just like kind of floating in.
Wait, I'll do the cookie thing.
Okay.
I can make cookies.
Okay.
Send me up for that.
So you can do pancakes and
Hey,
cookies.
pancakes and cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it'll be the Betty Crocker ones. Okay, don't get excited.
Oh God.
I'm just kidding. It'll be Nestle or something.
Okay.
I'll find something good online. I can bake cookies.
But you know
though.
something, now that you're saying it, there actually is one of Greg's neighbors who's actually really makes famous cookies, and that would be Maureen Dubois. Greg?
Who?
What lives down the street from Greg, Maureen Dubois, and she makes these fabulous cookies that they have everything. They're oatmeal, they're chocolate chip, they're raisin, they've got coconuts, they've got pecans, they've got the kitchen sink. But when she brings them to potlucks, they're gone in a minute because
Okay, fine. We
See, you just discouraged Gabby from
Welcome
doing
to
the
showbiz,
cookies.
Gabby. You just got bumped.
That's messed up.
So I'm
Gabby
just
was
saying.
like trying to say
Yeah.
stuff out there. Oh, Gabby,
Okay,
I'm gonna
never
eat your
mind,
cookies.
Gabby,
No, it's fine.
I won't bring it up
No.
to Maureen.
No, now we have to do this person.
It's too
Come
late
on.
now.
Now we have to do this person. Wait, what's her name?
Maureen, here I'm gonna write it, but
Okay.
this would be Greg's Western Heights neighbor.
Greg, do you think you can reach out? Well, Raheem, are you okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Reaching
Yeah,
out
sure.
to her?
Yeah, and I mean, if you guys,
And then having said that, Greg, do you know Herman and Maureen? You
Yes,
must.
of course I know
Of
them.
course you
oh,
do.
Herman used to be on the
Well,
board.
Herman was a
Yeah.
board member.
Exactly.
Yes.
And their daughter, who grew up here, is actually a really good singer. So come to think of it, definitely reach out to them, because maybe what we really want is a song from their daughter.
I
Yeah,
will
she's
bring
a
all this
professional
up in
singer.
our meeting
So
on Monday.
are we going to have
Perfect.
several singers?
I don't
We
know.
could have a couple. I mean, so if the show's like 20,
Right.
25 minutes, we could have
Okay.
like an opening and an ending, or you open
Okay.
Yeah.
ending song. Yeah.
So
Just
Yeah.
because
send
the
me an
singer
email
I'm thinking
reminder
of, if she
of
can
this.
if she
particular
can
item, specific item, so I can put it
contribute.
on.
Also, Lizzie,
Thank
do you
you.
happen to know where Tracy Hart ended up? Is she still
No.
living? Because she's a
No.
fabulous singer too.
Right, but no, I don't know where she is.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like Tracy.
Well, do we still consider her a stakeholder even if she couldn't be a Jefferson Park rep?
I suppose.
She lives here, yeah.
Well, I don't know if she still lives here, but she definitely teaches at
Forche,
yeah.
Forche.
for sure.
And I'm sure her
Yeah.
emails the same. She's a really good singer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Does
I see no
Mika-
reason to say she can't do it.
Yeah.
If
Does
she-
Mika have anyone
Hi,
in
Mika.
mind?
Mika, who do you know? I feel like Mika
Mika?
knows somebody.
Mika knows people.
You know someone?
Mika knows people. Mika knows herself. Come on, Mika.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm with Gabby. I don't know. I can probably do some cookies or some cakes.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you're up for it, right?
We
Of
can
course.
eat.
Of
And
course.
we can eat.
Of course. I can do cakes.
Okay, I can eat cakes. There you go. You break
It's all
them out of-
virtual though, Greg.
Oh man! Oh
Use your
man!
imagination.
Greg, what could you do?
Get Maureen.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, I can
he
jump off a
He
building.
can wear like I am.
Some of
an
the things I
ugly
can do, you can't
sweater.
tell people. You know, I can't.
Yeah, no. Don't make us mom
I
and
can
dad
jump
do
off a building and stuff. And
yeah.
the other things you don't want me to
Greg,
do.
you can tell us how much we can spend on this.
Yeah, I can say,
Right.
hey, this is how much money you got.
You'll get off easy. You can tell us what our budget is.
There
You
you
can write
go.
the check.
That amount of flour was 29 cents. Got a deal on
What?
it.
Now this got me thinking. Like, what special talent do I have? Like I can
Wow.
make an agenda. You know.
I can do a workout program. I can do that.
Oh, you should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because really, I did see a virtual show from Peru, and they did have a short segment of a lady doing like some type of Zumba. It was like a modified,
Yeah, I can do
easier,
it for you.
and to Uptown Funk, and they did a
So
Zumba.
the real question I have, as we're just doing this internally, this is another e-blast that I mean, we need to ask our stakeholders, not joking now, not can you bake a cake? If anyone, so the question is, we need to write something that's real focused.
Yeah, it's like we need
throw
to.
in some doodah things ourselves. We're looking for talent when we put that word out, correct?
Yeah, we need to
Okay.
like define these categories of talent.
Right.
So Raheem, let's work on defining what you want to
Mhm.
include
Right.
in your variety show, and then we can get that language to Laura to send
Right.
out.
Right, because I do have a gal across the street who is a musician, for example. And professional. She, got a master's degree, and she composes and performs. And I don't know what she can do all by herself. I can ask her. But she definitely is a pro. And Elizabeth Fenner's son is a professional musician, and he happens to be in Boston now, but he lives on 4th Avenue, even if he's not physically here. So
Lizzie, did you have something to add?
Yeah, but so that was my initial offering, was to bring a singer.
right.
Yeah, so
No, so
Lizzie, we
I think-
have a singer from you. That's
Right.
done deal. We have a date and time for you now. We just have to figure out what the schedule will be depending on how many people we get involved in the variety show, but we'll let you know as soon as we know and finalize those details.
Yeah, because
But-
Are we
because what I'm seeing right now is that a lot of you are not complaining, but what I'm saying is there's a lot of I'm hearing a lot of musicians, but I think we need to fill in the other categories too.
Yeah, you called dibs on the musician, Lizzie. So
Well, yeah, and to be,
there's a
but-
difference between a singer and a flautist or whatever, steel guitar
I understand.
player.
I understand, but I think we need to come up with more it's a variety show.
Yes, agreed, Lizzie.
We need more
Agreed.
categories.
Wait,
Hold
we
on.
have a
Give me
comment.
1 second.
Ooh.
Raheem, do you want to go ahead and let us know what you were thinking of?
Yeah, no, I mean, thank you. I like the conversation, and I think Laura was about to say like a comedian. I think this is kind of within the realm of what I'm thinking. Like a comedian is a good idea. Like I'm thinking like, I think comedian's well within that realm. Like if an actor wants to do like a monologue, like a brief little monologue, I think that maybe could be kind of cool. A dancer, if a dancer wants to do like little like dance number. Poet, same thing. If there's like and maybe we want to make this all like holiday themes, like everything kind of falls within this theme. And if we do more down the line, they can all fit into other themes. But maybe this is like the holiday themed variety show that we're doing. Musicians, yes, to Laura's point, like a musician could be a singer, could be a trumpet player, could be a drummer, you know. I was thinking like if somebody has like an animal trick, like if you have like a dog that like can do some tricks, that might be a cute, fun thing to see. Yeah, and then some sort of like I keep envisioning like some sort of like cooking thing, whether it's like cookies, or I don't know if it's something like dinner wise, like something where we can like somebody can basically like have a recipe and like just kind of do how that you do it the same way that you do it on like any like daytime TV show, where like you show them like kind of putting everything together, and then like but it's already in the oven, like they take it out, like here it is, you know. It's just like something that can show people like how to make something that somebody might be like, oh, that's a cool recipe, download that recipe, make that recipe, you know, something that's like takeawayable. And then I do like the idea just, and like Laura could probably help with this, like something historic, like if there's somebody who can like give some sort of like historic rundown about something, again, that's like that ties into the holidays, like maybe something historic happened in one of our neighborhoods like around the holiday season, or something used to happen, something like that. That might be kind of cool too. That's all I got. Thank you.
Okay,
guys.
so Greg had his hand up, so go ahead, Greg.
Okay, so again, I'm just going to share what I asked earlier, is that I will share this information at the Western Heights meeting, which is on Monday. So if Raheem will, I saw you take a note, so he's going to send me an email of this so that can be one of the announcements. I will also share the information about the cookbook at that meeting also. There's still a discussion if it's going to be a CD10 or an Avenues type item. I encourage him to say that it's initiated by the Avenues, but it's a CD10 item so that more people can be willing to be involved with it. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Greg.
So I'm done.
Thank you, Greg. Okay, anyone else? Go ahead, Laura.
So I definitely know we have at least one and maybe two stand-up comics, but only need one. And I'm thinking that person, if the one I'm thinking of, if he's willing, could be the MC of the whole thing, rather than doing a stand-up routine. You know, because somebody has to float us through.
Mhm.
Also think 25 minutes is going to be too short. But anyway.
I think,
Maybe. And if you want to do a holiday theme, I think you have to be, it's almost like even more specific than that. I mean, I didn't get to watch it today, but there's a new book out where it's a series of short stories, but it all centers on one women's march in 1915, you know, a suffragette march that took place in 1915, but it's like 25 different authors each wrote a short story, but they had a very focused theme. So I think holiday is even a little broad. It might, I don't, you know, but it can be done. But I don't necessarily want to hear 3 versions of Silent Night either. One on the guitar, one sung, and one on a flute. You know, I mean, so I mean, I don't know how you're gonna vet this. Is my
yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think like, you know, I think we're doing the right thing and trying to cast a wide net, because who knows what what, if anything, we'll get, so like, this thing will definitely be shaped by what we do get and what we're able to kind of say yes to and no to. And yeah. Cool.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
That
everybody.
sounds really fun.
I'm excited about this again. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let me go ahead and do this thing. We're just open discussion now. So that's really the only thing that we had here, just virtual events, because that's all we can do now. But if any of you have any ideas for any other events that we should or can do online, let us know. I know we wanted to do like sort of an open house event, but that may happen in the first quarter of 2021. And the goal of that open house, I don't know if it would be a meeting, but just like an event, would be to introduce a UNNC to new stakeholders that are, at this point, I think mostly everybody is on Zoom or on some sort of platform that you'll have to use to do your job or go to school, or, so we want to engage the people that are new to Zoom perhaps, or are new to just online and virtual events, and get them to know that we're here for them as a resource. So if at any point you guys think of anything, like this cookbook thing, Greg, was really cool. Hopefully we can, get that done, but please share your ideas with us. And that goes for you, Mika, and Michael as well. Laura, go ahead.
Yeah,
Okay.
so 2 ideas we had talked about. I feel like we're in for a long winter of stay at home. So 2 of the ideas that the 3 of us, Gabby, Rahim, and I, talked about were hang on, I'm looking back, was a virtual Zoom scavenger hunt. And the other was what I called memories and treasure chest, but a Zoom show and tell. You bring an object to the meeting and you talk about it like a kid would do in school. So I think we are looking at a long 3 or 4 months, unfortunately. So I think we need to think of some of these, some more of these ideas, which may or may never happen. It may or may not.
Okay.
I have a suggestion.
Lizzie, give me 1 second. Mika, did you want to add something?
Actually, I'm gonna contemplate on that and try and come up with something, and then I'll let you know.
Okay, yeah, feel free to. Let me send you my email so that you have that too.
Okay.
And then I can share yours with Rahim as well. But you have, so you can contact us if you have any questions.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Lizzie.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
I
you.
was thinking, would it be appropriate, I don't know, to have maybe one of the neighbors offer a tour of their home, of one of their historic, one of the nicer homes.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
And because we don't have the tours anymore, the Waha tours, right, Laura?
Well, they're not forever canceled, Lizzie, but they are at the moment.
I know they're not, but right now. So
for right
I
now.
mean,
yeah, that would be really cool if we can have. What we can do is like maybe make a call for volunteers if they want to share their historic home on a virtual tour. We can actually have like a live event on Zoom or something like that. We can explore that option.
That's cool.
I think that would be nice.
Okay, so I wrote that down to follow up.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead,
Well, here's the thing, because what Lizzie said with Waha, it's also possible that West Adams Heritage has more ability to arrange this, but there'd be no reason, since we wouldn't be charging money anyway, for us to share. Because one of our members, I think, as soon as it's available, is going to do a virtual walkthrough for us of the Elegant Manor now that it's being restored. That's the one on the
Oh.
corner of Arlington and Adams. But I see
Uh-huh.
no reason if we meaning West Adams Heritage, arranges it because it's up our alley, why it wouldn't also be a UNNC. It could be a joint event.
Mhm.
There, just because it'd be free, nobody be charging money.
Right. That'd be
So,
awesome.
How would we get in contact with
everybody wants
those?
to know everybody who drove by the years of not so elegant manner
Yeah.
and is seeing it becoming a prince again, is really curious about what it looks like now on the inside, because it was awful. That might be an idea. But we've been trying to figure out what does one do? Just walk around the house with a tablet, or is it a whole presentation that includes before photos as like a PowerPoint presentation, then walk around the house to see the after? I mean, it's how is this organized to make any sense? Or is it a restoration tips kind of story? I did these windows, here's how. So this is what I'm struggling with. Yeah,
I think it's so preliminary.
Exactly.
We don't really know what it will be, but
yeah. I'm saying West Adams Heritage has been struggling with how this kind of presentation would go. That was my point, not what we would do as UNC.
Okay.
It would still be cool to see before and after, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All the work
that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, that's a good idea. So I wrote it down, and we'll follow up on that one too.
I just want to say, Gabby, I think your open house idea is really, really good and really important, because I feel like, even in listening to what Michael was saying earlier, I think there might be other stakeholders out there who are maybe interested in UNNC, but don't know where they fit in. And I think it can be a little bit intimidating and not always a good fit for anybody to come to just like a random meeting, because that might not give them a good sense of what their involvement could possibly look like. So I think any of these informal events that we have where we're able to kind of break out of the strict protocol of our meetings and really have conversations with people, I think are really important to kind of, again, pull in people who are kind of existing on that periphery of well, maybe I want to get involved, maybe I don't. So we can have just conversations about how they can get involved and where and how. So I think it's a really great idea. So thank you for that.
And another thing is we're talking about houses, but there's also no particular reason why we couldn't do a tour of a church, one of the beautiful historic churches interior.
That would be also.
McCarty Church on Adams is stunning. And just a step outside our boundaries, St. Sophia's, the Greek Orthodox. I don't know if any of you have been to it.
Oh, yes.
And it's literal gold.
Incredible.
Literal gold interior. And yeah, wow. It's a big wow. And I think Father Bacchus would just do it if we asked him. Would do it. So, there's many options, I think.
But is that UNNC?
It's 2 inches out. So yeah. It's the border. We go to Normandy and Pico, right? So yes, but no. The church itself is no. The Byzantine Latino Foundation is yes, because they own property on both sides of the street. So they're definitely a stakeholder organization, if that's your question. And in any case, so beautiful, why not?
Sure.
And a pastor who does tours all the time, maybe most important. Okay.
I'm go.
So,
hi, Greg.
Greg, did you have a?
No, I'm gonna say good night to you guys.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, good night.
Okay.
Good night.
I think we're done now. Actually.
Okay. Well, then I'll wait for us to officially.
Okay. Great. So, well, with all of that, thank you so much for joining our meeting. We really appreciate your attendance. Our next meeting will be December 17th. That I'm not sure we will have it ringing, but just so you know, mark your calendars.
It's 2 days before a big variety show, so we'll have to see.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
Well, you might
that's
have it to do all the last minute planning. That might be your agenda.
true. We could probably use that time for
Right.
that. But with that, we are adjourned. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining.
Everybody,
Oh,
thank you.
and
so
you
much.
guys, if you want to save the chat, don't forget, take your little cursor and put it over on the chat over the 3 little dots, and you can save the chat.
Laura,
I will have the chat.
Laura, may I talk to you offline?
Yes.
I mean,
So,
All right, good night.
through the Zoom, but
pause.